Okay, so we had a gap down, seeing something like a slight recovery, but now that's being sold into. It is 9:20 in the morning, so we're going to enter slowly. So we've sold a call of 13,900 and a put of 13,700. The call being 30% more expensive. So we're also going to hedge for the margin benefit. $13,800 is going to be a very important support. Okay, so 13,800 is coming into play now, and our position is somewhat like this, where our call is more expensive. And yeah, what we're seeing from the open interest is there is not too much put unwinding happening, and in fact, so if you see intraday, so far from the data that we have, not too much unwinding of puts on the put side. A little bit at higher levels, but puts are getting written at the 13,800 point. So 13,800 now looking like potentially the spot at which we expire. Reliance is looking surprisingly strong in this down market. Nifty Bank now below 30,000, not looking good at all. Mainly HDFC Bank. So this is our position for now. We are going to probably have to move up our puts slowly, given that now we're recovering from the lows, but we're not going to be too early in doing anything, so let's wait and watch. It is 9:35. We are seeing a good bounce from the 13,800 level, and Reliance is extremely strong. So Reliance is actually up close to 1.3%. So that being said, what we've done is now we moved up our puts. So we booked the 13,700 puts, and we have now sold the 13,750 put. On the other hand, we have booked the 13,700 put once again and moved it to 13,800. So this is what we're holding on to for now. Let's see where we go with this. Let's see how much further Reliance can contribute. We'll catch you at the next update. Okay, so update time. Reliance is giving up some of that strength, but 13,800 seems to be a very strong point from which we've bounced back up. So what we've done is we are retaining the 13800 13900 strangle on one account, and on the other we had previously moved up our puts to 13750. We exited that as well, and now we've moved up our puts to 13850. So now this is almost delta neutral. This spread is actually completely delta neutral here, and here it is slightly bearish. Now since this is a delta neutral spread, we will have to take corrective action whenever it moves. So, but rather than moving the entire spread, we will move it in batches. So we'll move it in 30% or 50% batches, depending on what is the momentum also in the market. So we've had many trending days. So at this point, this is more from a trade management approach than anything else. So today we're going to sort of just actively manage our delta, try to capture as many points as possible, and being expiry, get out with a decent profit. So the time now is 9:48, just FYI. The time is 9:50. Now we're just taking a look at how the open interest is changing. You will see the biggest change in activity is definitely the 14,000 calls spiking and the 13,800 put spiking. So the idea is these two should almost certainly hold. So currently from where we are, the 13,800 put is only about 50 points or 60 points away, but looks like 13,800 is now a very, very strong support, and break down below that could see a lot of this get unbound, which could see scary downside, but 13,800 is very strong. So here we have nothing to do. This position is good. It's about 10 o'clock right now, and over here though we will move down part of our calls to 1850, and then it becomes a 1850 iron fly. So that's what we're going to do, but we're not going to be too quick about it because the 13,800 put is getting really strong. It's seeing a lot of traction. So we'll move about 30% of this here, and yeah, not much of a takeaway from the chart. We had a gap down, got bought, and now that is getting sold into. This is a sell on rise market clearly, but at the same time, being an expiry, can never be too sure. 13,800 looking really good. Okay, so now we have a part strangle which has about 83, 84, 85 points in it, and a part short straddle which has 105 points in it. We also have a strangle which has 65 points in it. So now if we can capture at least about 30 points per set, then we're good, and then we just trail our stop loss there. So far this is looking really good. Reliance, that 1900 support seems to be once again holding. Bank Nifty also recovering from its lows, and as far all the other, everything is down obviously, all the indices are down, but no downside momentum. That bounce from 13,800 showed strength at 13,800. So the range that we're working with for now is that the day's low holds, because we've seen strength from that, and Reliance seems to be holding on quite well, and Bank Nifty has recovered from its lows. So whereas yesterday's close, at least till here, if not yesterday's low, should hold. So currently in terms of our position, we are sitting on the same triangle in which We will move up our puts. Quite literally, if we see the strike being taken out, 13,900, then we'll move up our puts. Or we might do it partly if there is any other strength that is shown. We have a short triangle as well as a short straddle here. And yeah, once again, the same situation. We've had a bunch of trending days leading up to the expiry, so it's a high possibility that we have a flattish expiry. In terms of what is now happening with the open interest, it's more or less on the same lines. 13,800 put is getting really strong. The 14,000 call is also getting really strong. So definitely support is closer than the resistance. We're seeing a good build up at 13,900 as well. 14,000 put unwinding. 13,900 call also same direction. So yeah, range bound is what it looks like so far. Okay, we skipped recording this I think, but around 10:25, 5 minutes ago, we moved down our calls. So we booked the 13,900 calls and we moved them down to 13,850. Now we have an iron fly situation here again. On the other side, we're still sitting on the same position. We have semi-iron butterfly, semi-iron condor going on. I mean, for all practical purposes, you might as well consider these triangles and straddles because the hedge is so far away and it's only for like margin benefit as well as drawdown protection. So yes, what is happening now on the Nifty side of things? So yes, we saw this and we tried to go about 13,900, but that level got defended again. 13,800 showed a lot of strength as well. So what we're going to do is, if we consistently hold here for a bit, then we will move the remainder of these calls that we have at 13,900. We'll move them all down to 13,850, and then our overall position will just be a short straddle at 13,850. We'll keep you posted. So it's 10:40, and yeah, what we're going to do now is we're going to move down some more of our calls. We already have an iron fly at 13,850. We're going to move down some more calls from here to here. So exiting this at 24 roughly. Yeah, unfortunately your SLM orders take up margin, so you'll have to cancel them and redo them. Yeah, sometimes because of the margin constraint to redo them. Yeah, looks good. So we're working with the hypothesis that 13,800 holds and 13,850 should be the pivot. That's what we're working with for now. Okay, so we had a couple of people yesterday asking for what is the sensible payoff chart looking like. So most of the time you can look at this and be like, okay, right now the straddle has about 98 points in, let's say 100, and the intrinsic value to it is about 18. So there's about 80 points in this straddle, minus the hedges that we purchased. But the payoff will look something very similar to this. And similarly here, payoff would look something very similar to this. So of course our stop loss market will sort of ensure that we get out of any horrible type situation, and then if there is that much momentum we can potentially have newer trades. But that's the payoff graph. The time is 10:50 a.m. Okay, so it is 11:52, and this is something for the special gap fillers out there. So there's a gap here which hasn't been filled, and today we have kind of filled that gap. Now, given how things are looking at this point of time, even from the option chain, we're seeing a lot of build up of straddle positions around the 13,850. It's the same position that we have currently, and a good amount of put writing at 13,800, what we identified would be a very strong support that is holding, and a lot of call writing at 13,900. So this range is what is looking really good at this point of time. Our position remains exactly the same. We haven't made any changes, so we're just going to follow this position for now. More or less everything is looking exactly as it was in the morning. Bank Nifty as well, 30,000 expiry seems very, very likely, and there is no momentum on any particular sector at this point of time. We'll keep you posted. Okay, so let us look at the criteria where we will adjust this. There are two scenarios in which we would go for an adjustment. Number one is if we start seeing news lows of the days, then we will go inverted with our calls. We'll start swapping our calls. The moment we start heading here, we will immediately start inverting our calls and going from the 850 call to the 13,800 call, creating an inverted triangle. The other scenario in which we will go inverted. Now currently this straddle has a value of about 92, 93, right? And the intrinsic value that is there in the straddle is about 20. At any point, if the intrinsic value starts to match the extrinsic value left, that is a point when we will change. So for example, let us say this straddle becomes worth 100 and the intrinsic value is 50. So by that logic also 13,800 would be the point where we would start to adjust this position. Okay, so we saw this dip once again, quite a sudden dip of almost 40 points, and once again we see that there is demand. Now what was contributing to this dip? It was actually quite broad. Everything dipped, not anything specific, but sometimes this happens just to increase premiums and and to get people excited and say, okay, there's momentum here, let's go long those puts. You buy them at 80 and you see 15 points get shaved off in a second, and there's about 5 points of recovery. In terms of what we're looking like from an open interest point of view, 14,000 is way out of the question, clearly. 13,800 is still really strong, so that's why we're working with 13,800 holding. 13,700 as well, picking up momentum. So a lot of people, sometimes dips like that are used to like enter this position. So 13,700 as well, and 13,900 call. So range of 13,800 to 13,900 is most likely where we are. Probably not even 39 or 13,850. 13,800 to 13,850 should be what we're looking at this point of time. Okay, so what we're doing now is we're rolling down our calls. So We are exiting our put side because that's the right thing to do. And just we're setting stop losses on our short calls. So stop losses on our short calls, which looks like they should hold good for now. We're also long small amount of puts, about 1/3 the quantity that we were short earlier. So we are exiting all the positions on this account. We would much rather manage just one account for now. To add to our short call position, and we're going to add to our long position. Okay, not sure what the problem is. Okay, we're gonna add it in the other account. Premium is expanding rapidly. We're going to be careful with where we place our stop loss because we don't want it to hit and then run away. Okay, that's all right. So we're seeing a clear breakdown, and we were very sideways and narrow and consolidation. Now we are breaking down. So set a stop loss here as well. Okay, the puts are starting to deflate, but we don't want to get stopped out, so seems to be a pullback, but we're going to hold this trade for now. Let's see. So Reliance is now down 0.5% from being up. Bajaj Finance was up around 1%, now it's down 2%. Okay. So the idea is we have to be a little careful with getting stopped out. So at the same time, we might want to reduce our position size. It's going on extra. Okay, really good. Now we're back on the downside. Reliance breaking down is a very big deal. The fact that it crashed 25 points from where it was so consistently just holding on and breaking the opening low now. Okay, the position is now playing out. We will add a little more quantity here. Bank Nifty given up 200 points or so. So these minute green bars that you see can easily stop you out. This will lead to almost a 10 point, 15 point difference in premium, even though the actual amount that it would have moved is less than that. Because you see rapid expansion in puts when we see the downside action, and that gets immediately wiped out as soon as the first green bar pops up. It's easy to get stopped out. Okay, so we will add to the short call position. Okay, never mind. Yeah, see, so this candle once again getting sold into, but a lot of put buyers would have got stopped out here very easily. Happened to us yesterday. Bank Nifty still hasn't touched its open. Seems to be a little bit of pullback. $29,800 acting as a support for Bank Nifty. Reliance as well, pullback of about 5 points, but being tried to pull back from the bottom and being sold into quite a decent volume candle. This we will hold for now. We'll hold for now. I mean, our stop loss should be somewhere around here, which is fine. So we're seeing a little bit of pullback from that crash, and the open interest at the 13,800 put also crashing. So we're still long the puts. Let us see if we manage to climb back up. For now, Reliance is picking up slightly from the lows, but there's no need to exit this position in a hurry. Let's wait and watch. Okay, so the volatility in the market seems to have crashed our broadcasting software, but basically, I'm not sure how much of this we captured, but we're just long on the puts now like we were, and we are trailing our stop loss higher and higher so that we lock in whatever profits we can. Just moving up the stop loss to 123 now. Similarly, modify this short call stop loss. Okay, short call stop loss is fine. Long put stop loss, modify 120 should be alright. Okay, now we make it 130. There was a faster way of doing it. Right. Okay, we're rocketing now. The put is really expanding and the market is crashing. Bank Nifty given up another 100 points. Very nice. We'll make you 139. Okay, we got stopped out on one. And the slightest sign of recovery, but it's fine. That profit got booked. We'll just look at it that way. We're essentially also reducing our position size as we keep doing this. Those short calls seem perfectly fine for now. Okay, so slight pullback from 13,700. At this point, we don't have enough time to keep looking at all data. We just trail our stop loss and lock in what we can. Here as well, we are just going to trail our stop loss. We're going to exit these long puts which we bought as a hedge. No point in holding on to these. We already have a position that's doing well, so these won't come into play. This will just decay into oblivion. Okay, our stop loss on some more puts got hit. Yeah. Now we just short the calls, which most likely might end up being worthless. So trailing the stop loss there quite close by. We'll exit these. Okay, we're seeing some kind of a recovery. We'll start cutting position size. We'll keep the short calls. Here we're still long the puts. Our stop loss will start hitting at about 123. Let's move. Yeah, there we go. There, we're done here. It's okay. We trailed our stop loss. We could have got more points. We could have got 20 points more. Yada yada. But no. Okay, it doesn't get more epic than this. Basically, this is classic. This is classic beyond belief. When the averaging started, so averaging is what happens with the index at around 3 o'clock. Nifty was around 13,760, and then immediate spike, so that during the average period, now it's being pushed up higher, so that essentially the average comes closer to 13,800. This is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Like, if you didn't manage to lose money on a day like this, hats off to you, because that is a job well done. Okay, this is just beyond believable when it comes to how classic it is. So expiries like to be around round numbers. They want the average expiry to be 13,800, which is why it got pushed up about 70 points in a matter of a little more than 5 minutes, and now it's being controlled again. So somebody's sitting there with a calculator, averaging the time and saying, okay, how much time left till expiration, how's the averaging going on, and how do we bring it to 13,800. We've been talking about 13,800 all day, and looks like the average expiry will be exactly 13,800. What are we doing? We'd cut out of our position, and due to volatility taken some amount of damage, but we're now sitting on the 13,800 short straddle, which is worth about 20 points, and we have a stop loss which is about 30 points. So yeah, we either get stopped out or we ride the straddle, and we'll bring down the stop loss. Once the straddle is worth about 15, we'll bring it down to 25. Once it's worth 10, we'll bring it down to 15, because this is looking so manipulated that it's just really good risk reward to take this trade at this point of time. Okay, so we're getting kicked out of our position because it's MIS. Basically, yeah, we might have overtraded slightly today, but the idea is we're just happy that we didn't get too screwed. So today we have returned about 1.5% on our capital, so we're quite happy with that. Could have been a lot worse. Anybody who went short here should have gotten out really quick. There wasn't enough reaction time because the puts, anyone who went long in the put side, if they didn't get out, this would have taken damage. Anyone who went long here or went long here would have got completely stopped out by this. Anyone who went short after this candle would have got screwed by this. So this was just one of those days which would have been really messed up to navigate. One specific reason is, for the past few days we have not been having a buy on dip situation, where once again this looked like one of those buy on dips where you go on and make a new high for the day. We've seen the same pattern many times in the previous few months. So all that being said, I hope you all had a great trading day. Thank you for watching, and I might or might not be trading tomorrow, but I will share the setup video and let you know in the evening if I will be active tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye bye.
Thank you for watching. Please post any questions you have in the comment section. Also, do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. To find us on Twitter and Telegram, use the username NiftyBN. Also, I post some of my trades to the community tab, so don't forget to check that from time to time.